If you're working in software testing, listen up because your job is about to change in a huge way. Today, we're jumping into a really important white paper by Kavita J that basically lays out a roadmap for how to survive and, really thrive in this new age of AI.
Okay, let's just pause on this for a second. This one sentence, this perfectly captures the earthquake that is hitting the entire software quality industry. The old way of doing things, it's just not going to cut it anymore. We're in the middle of a massive, massive shift.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the crisis itself. Then we'll look at the totally new kinds of failures we're seeing and the tools to deal with them. After that, we'll get into a really cool technique called red teaming, and then we'll tie it all together with a personal career roadmap for you.
All right, let's get right into it. Why is making this change not just, a nice-to-have skill, but an absolute necessity for your career in quality assurance?
Just look at this number. Fewer than 5% of QA professionals today have the actual hands-on AI testing skills that companies are scrambling to find. This isn't just a skills gap, it's a chasm. But, for anyone who's willing to adapt, it's also a massive opportunity.
And you have to understand, the stakes are incredibly high here. AI isn't some science project stuck in a lab anymore. It's out in the wild, making critical decisions in our hospitals, our banks, even our legal systems. A failure isn't just a software bug. It can have serious, real-world consequences for people. So, if the stakes are so much higher, what about the failures themselves? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. Testing AI means we are dealing with a whole new world of problems that go way beyond the simple bugs and crashes we're all used to.
Okay, this slide gets to the heart of it. We need to get our heads around this fundamental shift. We're moving away from predictable, deterministic systems. Where the same input always gives you the exact same output. Now, we're in a probabilistic world, where an AI might give you a slightly different but still valid answer every single time you ask it a question. For a tester, that uncertainty, well, it changes everything. And we're not talking about your average bugs here. AI can fail in these sneaky, almost human-like ways. It can confidently make things up. That's what we call a hallucination. Or think about something like ethical drift. Imagine a customer service bot that starts out super friendly, but after learning from thousands of angry customer chats, it slowly becomes sarcastic and unhelpful. These are silent, meaning-based failures that are just impossible to catch with the old methods. To make this super real, check out this case study from the white paper. A healthcare chatbot pilot actually hallucinated and recommended a combination of drugs that could have caused serious physical harm. This is a life-or-death situation, not just a minor glitch. During testing, the team discovered the bot was hallucinating in 11% of its medical responses. Just think about that for a second. That's a dangerously high number, and it perfectly shows why we need totally new safety standards for AI. You just can't ship a product with that level of risk. No way. So, okay, with failure rates this high and consequences this serious, the old testing playbooks clearly aren't going to work. And that brings us to the new arsenal, the new toolkit that every single QA pro needs to start mastering right now. These are some of the new names you'll need to get familiar with. You have frameworks like PromptFoo, which helps you systematically test thousands of different prompt variations to catch those tricky edge case hallucinations. And then you have tools like LangTest, which are specifically built to hunt for those tough problems like bias and fairness in your model's answers.
And this is what a test report looks like now. It's not a simple pass or fail anymore. Instead, we use a risk-based scorecard, just like this one. See how the hallucination rate has a fail status? This gives stakeholders a really clear, data-driven picture of the model's safety and how it performs against very specific targets.
Now, it's not enough to just test for things that go wrong by accident. We have to actively go looking for vulnerabilities. And that brings us to a really fascinating and crucial new skill, the art of red teaming. So what is it? Put simply, red teaming asks that critical question. How could someone trick this system, or exploit it, or misuse it? It's all about thinking like a bad guy to make the system safer for everyone else. It's basically ethical hacking, but for AI. And I want to be clear, this isn't just randomly poking at the system trying to break it. Red teaming is a structured professional process. You move methodically from reconnaissance to exploitation, and then, most importantly, you work with the developers to actually fix the vulnerabilities you found. The white paper points to this banking chatbot, where red teaming found a massive security flaw. An attacker could use something called prompt injection, which is like hiding a secret command inside a normal question, to trick the bot into leaking sensitive transaction data.
I mean, that one vulnerability could have led to huge fines and a complete loss of customer trust. Okay, so we've gone through the problem, the totally unique challenges, and the new tools. Now, let's put it all together. Let's talk about your personal career roadmap. How do you get from where you are today to where the industry is headed? Kavita J's white paper lays out this really clear four-stage journey. You can actually see the evolution of the role, starting as a traditional QA engineer, then becoming an AI QA specialist who evaluates models, then moving into an adversarial red teamer role, and finally becoming an AI assurance lead, overseeing the whole quality program. So, what skills should you be focusing on? Well, the huge takeaway here is that it's a mix of disciplines. You absolutely still need your core tech skills, but now you have to blend them with security expertise, and this is so important, a really deep understanding of human-centered issues like fairness, ethics, and safety. This right here, this is probably the most important idea to take away from all of this. Your job is evolving from just finding bugs in code to becoming an essential guardian of trust and safety in the age of AI. It's this profound shift from just verifying software to safeguarding intelligence itself. And that leaves us with one final thought. This change isn't on the horizon, it's already here. The professionals who master this roadmap, who really embrace this new way of thinking, they're the ones who are going to define and lead the future of responsible AI. So the only question left is, are you ready?